All right, so it's recording now. Okay, so hey everybody, I'm really excited tonight. We're going to be doing a training tonight focused on how to attract potential distributors to your business and how to sign those potentials as distributors on your team. The reason distributors are important for our business is because they're, the building structure of what we need to rank up in terms of like promoting and duplicating our business. And making all of kind of the magic happen together. We don't make money directly on signing distributors. Now, whereas they are a huge part of our business and like half of our focus does go towards that, you do have to remember that you're not, you can sign all the distributors in the world. And if you're not training and duplicating right, and if you're not doing your part to sign the loyal customers as well, you're not going to make any money really, because we are in a sales business. We're not, just signing people up and making money off of that. And I love that about what we do here. So like I said, distributors are important to start promoting up into the ranks. For example, like our first rank to reach executive would be to have 2 distributors under you. And then the rank after that, Ruby, is a total of 5 distributors under you. But again, to reach those ranks, you have to train and sign those customers as well as just signing the distributors to reach those promotion ranks. So it all works together, and that's why we want to focus like 50-50 on doing both enrolling distributors, helping people change their life with this, and also helping people change their life with our product. So I'm going to screen share. I have lots of tips to share. I have like a page and a half of notes that I have planned out to talk about tonight. So the first thing we're going to start talking about is posting. And let me get the screen share going. I've got some stuff to share with you all. Let me see, share desktop. All right, so my desktop should be showing. Okay, so posting and using social media is how I personally build my business. This isn't the only way that you, have to build, but I'm going to train on where I feel confident and what I know works and what, I've been able to duplicate down in my downline. Now, if you feel more confident somewhere else, like if you feel more confident talking about this business and helping people join in person or doing parties or doing vendor events, then, that is 100% fine. Then, the business is super flexible in that way. So you want to find your strong suit. But like I said, tonight is going to mainly focus on what I know and what works for me and what I've been able to help other people do as well. And it's really duplicatable to be able to do this. So posting to attract potentials into your business is, like I said, it's how I sign distributors. Like 90% of the distributors come through posting for me. And the most effective way to do that is to be you and share your story. Stories sell more than anything else out there. I think like sharing your story just has such power to it. You're passionate about it. You can inspire people. You can take them along your journey with you. And so get really good at like your story and get really good at knowing the reason why you started and where you are going. So those are going to be the 2 main factors when telling your story. And I think one of the places that a lot of people, especially when you're new, get hung up on is thinking that you don't have a story yet. But I promise you, you do. Even if you just joined in this business yesterday or today, you have a story that you can use to inspire other people. And I think the best part about this is sharing our vulnerability and sharing the things that we are going through in life that other people can relate to and resonate with. And you are inspiring them to find another way out of whatever they're going through. So some of the main ways that, I post, like I said, is definitely using my story. Like I said, stories have power. We use stories in so many aspects of just our life. Like when you go and meet up with your friends and you're talking and you're having dinner or you're getting drinks, most of your conversation is going to be stories, like stories about what your kids are doing, stories about what your dog is doing, stories about, what has been going on in the past couple of days, stories about work, stories about your family. We tell stories all the time, and that's how we connect to people, and that's how we relate to people. And same thing, like, all throughout history, bedtime stories, whatever, what am I trying to say? Like fairy tales and things like that. Like children are so attracted to stories because of that reason. Like we just resonate with them. And stories are so much more powerful than facts. You can tell somebody all the facts in the world about like what this business is, what this business can do, the money that people can make with this business, or the compensation plan, but that's not going to sell as much as like your story is going to sell people. And you're going to show so much more passion through your story than anything else. So stories are going to be huge, and using photos of like yourself, your why, your kids, on all that stuff when telling your story and posting your story is also going to be super important. Sharing about your why, sharing about your goals, sharing about your accomplishments. And another great way to post to attract distributors to this business is talking about like kind of where you are working and what you're doing and how you're able to do this business like from your phone, kind of from anywhere. Like, those posts are like, I was just able to make, or, help a customer order hair, skin, and nails while I was at the park pushing my child on the swing. Any type of thing like that is another great way to post. So right here on my screen, you can see an example of how I told my story. I post my story almost every single day, but I do it in a different way and different verbiage every single day. I think the minimum amount of times you should be sharing your story on your Facebook or your Instagram, wherever your main focus is. Like I said, I'm going to be sharing about where I work most comfortably. And for me, that's Facebook. For some of you guys, that's Instagram, and that's totally fine. So for me, like that, and like I said, there's lots of chit chat going on in the chat. So I'm just going to open that up as well to make sure. I'm going to keep this down here. So I would say, like I said, a minimum of 3 times per week you should be posting your story, but I probably do it a little bit more than that. And like I said, it's just very powerful to do that. And that is, the people who do that and follow that training are the people signing the most distributors. So we know that it works. And this is kind of called attraction marketing. You are attracting somebody to you and, your business in that way. So as you can see here, this is just kind of how I told my story in this post. I just said I started this business when I was 22 as a new mom to Michael, to make ends meet for diapers, gas, groceries, small bills. So I talked about like where I was before this business. I was a new mom to Michael and I was 22 years old. That's where I was before, and the reason why I joined. So I joined because of those reasons. And then I tell a little bit about what has happened on my journey so far since starting. I moved out and got my first apartment. I became a mom to Zachary. I was a stay-at-home mom. I became a single mom. I talk about where I am now because of this business. And then, I believe I talk about where I'm going. I'm not sure if I do say that in this post, but that's another really great thing to do. So that's kind of always the, what should I call it? The, like kind of like model or, I don't even know, but like structure, I guess, that I tell my story in when I'm thinking about what I'm posting. So I always start with where I was before, like what was I doing before? Who was I before? Maybe my age, just a little bit of detail about where I was before, what has happened to me since starting, and then, like I say, where are you going? And like I said, you can do this with even just starting yesterday, because you were somewhere before. You started for a reason. What was going on in your life that was like the ultimate decision maker for you wanting to start? Were you struggling with debt? Were you not able to make ends meet? Did you join because you wanted to have extra money for family activities? Did you join because it broke your heart to leave your child at home every single day? Did you join just because you were sick of feeling like you were never going to get ahead in life? So what was going on that made you want to join this? We all have a reason for joining, and something that was going on that you decided to take that leap of faith and join. So talk about that. That's like the why and the reason that you joined. Then you can talk about how you're feeling now. So like I said, you can even do this if you started yesterday. For many of us, we haven't started yesterday, so you do have a little bit more of what has happened now. Whether that is earning, even a small amount of commission. So far, I've started to make commission and extra money that I can use for gas, I can use for diapers, I can pay my electric bill, anything like that. That is money that other people don't have, and that other people are struggling to do those types of things, like putting gas in their car, putting diapers on their baby's bum, buying dog food for their pets, anything that is the reason in what you have done so far. But for somebody, like if you have started just yesterday, what has this done for you so far is that it has given you hope. It has given you a way out. You have a light to the end of the tunnel. You are excited. You have found a new passion. You found a new tribe. You found a new family. What has happened so far? What are you feeling now that you have started? And then where are you going? So, this business is going to help me do X, Y, and Z in X amount of months. People follow people who know where they are going. You're going to hear us say that all the time in this business. And that's why we constantly want to be telling people, what is this business doing and where are we going next? So I'm always telling people my what's next. And then when I hit that, I celebrate that on my wall. I celebrate with that with my Facebook. People are probably like, oh gosh, like thank God this girl like hit that goal, because she's been talking about doing that for months. I remember on stage at Grand Rapids, Morgan Martin was on stage and she was talking about sharing stories. And one of the things that she had been doing lately was she was saying that she was going to pay off her car in full. She had bought the car earlier on in this year. And she was saying like, by X date, I'm going to pay off my car in full. By X date, I'm going to pay off my car in full. And she talked about it over and over and over again. And then when she finally did it, like all of her followers were celebrating with her because they were like, wow, like she said she was going to do that and she did it. And so they were super happy for her. And then she threw up about that on her wall too. Like after that happened, like, oh my gosh, like this business allowed me to pay off my car in full. It has done, so take those people on that journey with you, because when you do accomplish that goal, you can celebrate it and people are going to be excited for you. And then they're going to realize like, wow, she was talking about that all along. And she actually did it. Like maybe this business actually does work and I should give it a shot with her. Or they're just going to be happy for you and you're going to make those friendships along the way. The other great thing about this post here that I want to talk about too, is doing a call to action at the end. So like, it's so great to share your story, but it's not going to be as effective if you're just sharing your story all the time and people don't know that they can do this with you. I remember when I was following the person who I joined in. Oh, that thing happened again, guys. I don't know how to get that away. Remember I drew on my screen the last time and I don't know how to take it away. So apparently there's just going to be green on our screen. I don't know how that happens. Oh, it's gone. Okay. So I was following her for a really long time on Instagram, and like she would share her story all the time. I didn't do that. I don't know how I got there. Can you see that? Can you see that red line?
I didn't see. You do it. You can do it in a Zoom.
So you're distracting me. Where was that? Okay, there we go. Where's my thought going? If you find things on my post that you want to point out, feel free to circle them. Okay, so what was I saying? Where was my train of thought going? Oh gosh, now I forget. Somebody tell me what I was saying. Who was listening? Where's my chat? Oh, no, I forgot. Oh, nobody was paying attention to me. Okay.
You're talking about call to action.
Oh, yeah. Okay, there we go. Call to action. This girl's listening. Okay, so our call to action. So, yeah. So
no, you were talking about your leader's posts.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that one.
Yeah, so I was following her for a really long time and following about like how awesome she was doing with her business, but I never knew that I could do this. And then like there was that one post that she made inviting people to do this with her, and then I joined. However, if I knew all along that like this was something I could do and this wasn't just like her side thing or like her business that she did on her own, then I probably would have joined her like way earlier, but I just didn't know. So I always like to add that call to action at the end to let people know that this is something that they can do with me. So like, for example, here, I said, right now you can join this business with me for only $20. Comment below if you're interested. I have 5 coupon codes left, and creating that sense of urgency by saying, you know, how many spots you have left on your team. That's something I love to do. You know, like starting with a number at the beginning of the month, saying like, I have 20 spots open for October. And then as you sign those people throughout the month, that number gets smaller and smaller. And it creates that sense of urgency with those people who are like, wait a second, like she doesn't have those spots left open. I want to start this. And people can also see like you do have people joining your team. People are following you on this journey. I want to get on board with this too. People follow people who know where they're going. Okay, so I just have a few more examples of like different posts to go through. Again, like this is another like way that I told my story here. I talk about, you know, ever since being young, I had, you know, a big dream, I had a big goal, and that just wasn't where my life was going. So I talk about that vision, taking, instilling like a vision and dream into people, because one of the things too that you want to remember is that you are leading your next distributor before they even start. So you want to keep remembering that in your head. Like, what do I want people to realize and feel when they start this? I want people to know that they can dream. I want people to know that they're going to be able to have that dream life and go in this full force right away, not having to, you know, work with somebody to instill their belief in this business after they join. I want them to feel that before they've even joined this business. So you want to remember that you are leading your next rock stars before they even start. So like with this post, like I was saying, I'm instilling that a vision and that dream with people. So I tell them that, you know, like this was my dream and this was my goal, and I'm going to get that with this business. So I just talk about, again, being vulnerable, opening up with my audience, because that is going to really resonate with people. It's going to, you know, it's going to make them feel something, like maybe they're going through the same thing or something similar. And you know, they're going to be like, wow, like, you know, this is just a normal girl going through something similar to what I'm going through, some kind of struggle, and she completely changed her life with this. Maybe I can do that too. And maybe you're not at that place where you've completely changed your life yet, but you have a way out, and like you are going there. So again, people follow people that know where they're going. You're going to hear me say that all the time because it is so true. I think it's so much more powerful to be somebody who hasn't arrived yet at the top, because I think some people realize that, like, wow, like if this person is saying all the time that she's going to reach this goal and she's taking, you know, whoever is on her team with her, I want to go with her. But somebody who's already at the top and already has arrived, like they're not, you know, you're not taking people with you on that journey anymore. And I think people realize that. So, and I think it's much more relatable to other people. But anyways, I talk about those vulnerabilities. I talk about what the business has done for me. And again, I talk about where I'm going with this. So just another example of how to tell your story. And I just think I have a few more examples here. You know, again, talking about before, you know, where I am now, where I'm going, call to action at the end. I do this all the time. And these are all different ways that you can tell the same story over and over and over again, to me, or to, you know, to people who follow me every single day and see every single one of my posts. Maybe it does sound a little bit repetitive, but I am adding new people to my market every single day. I am networking every single day. And because of Facebook algorithms, not everybody's going to see my post and my story every day. So I just want to make sure that I'm in people's face and reminding them what, you know, I'm accomplishing and taking them on this journey with me. This is just kind of another example of a little bit of a less salesy drip. So I like to call my posts two different things, a drip and a pull. A drip is just kind of something where I'm like trickling in the business to my post. Like I have my 2 kids here, which are my why. So that's why I chose a photo of them. And it's just kind of, you know, it's more of like, I don't know, it's not like as salesy, doesn't have, you know, call to action at the end, anything like that. But it's just kind of one of those posts that, again, just shows some emotion and draws some attention to it. I mean, and like, that's a great way to express your why to your audience. Like, why are you doing what you're doing? Type thing. Again, just more relatable. Here's another example of a different type of post where you can share an accomplishment. So maybe you have gotten a fast start bonus, which is what I shared here. So again, I just use a normal lifestyle photo because that's going to be more attractive to the eye of my viewer than if I was to just post, you know, maybe if I just posted the email. Like, that's not going to draw as much attention as like a, you know, a cute photo of like a little kid and bright colors and stuff in that photo. And I just have like a normal like little caption here that's just like cute and funny. And the great thing about this as well is I actually, this exact caption I got from, you know, our Triple Diamond leader on this team, Rachel. So that's the best thing about this, is it is so duplicatable. When you don't, when you're in those moments where like, I just don't have the words coming to me right now, go to some leaders' pages and be like, okay, well, what has she posted about today? And just emulate and mimic what other people are doing, and change the wording around to fit your story or to fit, you know, your photo or your caption a little bit better, or your personality. And that's all I did here. I don't know if I have her post up to it. I know I have a few from Rachel. And again, this I would just call another one of those drips. It's not as salesy. It's not, you know, pulling as many people in, but it talks about my why, talks about being able to work from the park, do those fun things. So just a different type of post that you can make to attract people to the business. And okay, so this right here is what I would call a much more salesy pull post. So it's trying to really pull those people in. They've been following my story for maybe like 4 or 5 days now. For 4 days, 5 days, I've been super consistent, posting my why, posting my story over and over and over again. And then I hit my audience with a pull post where they're like, okay, like I want to do this now. Like, she's talking about building 6 figures from her phone, making 17K a month. I can do this too. 4 spots left. Like, you know, bring me in. So it's one of those posts where it's like, just kind of like more in your face salesy than one of those more subtle drip posts. That be the reason, and I think this is important to realize, the reason these types of posts work is because I'm consistent every single day, every other day, doing those other things that may not seem like they are pulling as many people in, or I'm not getting as many messages or as many comments on the post from those. But those are the ones that are making that magic happen when I do, in, you know, 5 days, 7 days, make a more salesy post like this. And I think I have a more salesy one in the next thing here. Again, like, this is a pull post asking for my next leader, throwing money in people's face, you know, stuff like that. But I've led my people in all of those other posts before. So I have instilled the dream in them. I've shown them the vision. I have shown them what the business can do for me, for my team, for other people doing this. And now I post this and people are like, okay, well, like, yes, I want to do this. She says she has a spot open for somebody who wants to make $5,000 a month. Like, that's me. I want to do this. And this is a very good post that you can just kind of mimic and use as well. So again, duplicating down, and making this business super duplicatable for the team. This is something that, you know, you can just copy and paste type thing. This doesn't have any of, you know, the facts about my story or anything like that. And again, here's like another one that is a little bit more on the salesy side, pulling people in, talking about money, talking about looking to find some more people to join my team and join my business. Okay, so this one is from Rachel on our team, and I just wanted to show you her caption here. And this is where I want to show you that duplicatable piece of this business. This caption, it tells her story. It again shows who she is, why she started, what the business has done for her. She has that call to action at the end. But if you go back here, it's literally the same exact post that I have right here. But again, you can duplicate so easy. This business is so duplicatable that you can just mimic and emulate what your leaders are doing, or what your sideline is doing, or, you know, your best friend in this business is doing, your enroller is doing. If you don't know what to post, if you aren't in that place yet where you can, like, you know, make an awesome lifestyle drip, and you don't just have that skill yet, you don't have those words coming to you yet, or maybe you're just in a day where you're busy and you don't have those words. Like, that happens to me almost every single day. Like, I'm just all over the place, busy all the time. So I look to other people to help me find those posts and kind of like a structure, and I just delete the facts about what that they have in their post and type in my story. So that's exactly what Rachel did in this post, and I love that. Just wanted to show you a great way to do that. And you can do this if you're brand new too. You know, you can go to Rachel's page right here and copy and paste this, even if you're brand new. you started this business, the reason you started, and like what it has done for you so far. And then you can basically just copy this last section and use it as your own post. Okay, so this is just another example here of, a way to share about your story. Rachel tells about her why she started, creating that, that emotion, those relatable things that, relates to your audience and relates to the people watching. So that's another great example of just telling your story and a good drip post to make. Again, and like all of these photos are just normal lifestyle photos. They're not like ads. They're not like an It Works photo right there. It's just her daughter. Like, it's a photo of her daughter, and she, was able to use that as just this great drip post for her business. Adding a call to action at the end too. So that's perfect. Right here. So this is a post that I was talking about at the beginning, is kind of like a where you're working post, showing people that you can do this business and make money from anywhere. And it's one of the best things about this. That's one of the main things I was attracted to when I was thinking about joining, or just, I wanted to join this. I was watching my enroller be able to talk about, she was working from the park. She had enrolled a customer while she was pushing her child on the swing, or playing around in Target, or, whatever she was doing, snuggling on the couch, watching a movie, snuggling in bed at night, saying, giving her, reading her son a bedtime story, those types of things. I was like, I wish I could be doing that and making money at the same time. So this is a great way to show people that we get to work on our phones and make money from anywhere. So Rachel just talks about what she was doing, like a normal caption for her photo, talking about being at the doctor's office for an adjustment. Ruby loves going there. Cute little photo of her daughter. Nice bright photo. And then she just used an app right here to paste like an email that she got a new loyal customer. And so she just talks about that while she was here, she got to help Jen order her chocolate greens and keto coffee. And she loves how this job works into all the nooks and crannies of her life and pays for all of these awesome appointments. Again, relatable, shows that you can work anywhere, shows that even busy people can do this. I think that's one of the things and one of the objections that we get a lot from our potentials is, can I work this business if I'm busy? Yes, I'm running all over the place all the time, and showing people through your posts that you're, running crazy all the time, being able to work this into the nooks and crannies of our life is just awesome, showing people that. Okay, so now, that's one way, like I said, to gain those potential distributors. And to start making a list. So as you're doing that consistently all the time, the first few times that you do this, you're not suddenly going to get this wave of people knocking at your door wanting to join your team. But it's that consistency over and over that builds and builds and builds, and creates that curiosity. So before we go on to this, one of the things I want to talk about is messaging and how to reach out. When you're doing all this, what's other ways that you can be working as well to bring people in, to bring those customers in and start making a list? So of course, anybody you're gaining from those posts that you're making, you might get messages, you might get people on comments that are interested, and you might start talking to them. The minute you start talking to people, they go on some kind of list. I have lists all over the place. I'm not a very organized person, but just a basic notebook is fine. We have a hundreds list file in eSuite that you can print out and use that. But notebooks are just easy for me. I can carry them around to have some type of list where you're recording all the time those potentials that you're gaining, so you can keep track of people. And another way, I don't know if I have a file up here or a slide up here about messaging. Let me see what I have here. Here we go. Okay, so messaging. So one of the other ways to gain potentials outside of posting is going to be messaging. One of the things that you're going to also hear your leaders say a lot in this business is that posting is not asking. Posting is amazing. It is like the daily non-negotiable. If you cannot do anything else for your business, you are so busy, you are so slammed, the one thing that you must do is post. You've got to be consistent, and posting is so easy. It is not, the hardest thing in the world. Our training, this training isn't going to go into depth about all the other posts that you should be making outside of these, but it's 4 posts a day. When you wake up in the morning, if you're somebody who works a job, you can do one before work, you can do one on your break at work. One is the second that you get out of work, and one, when you put your kids to bed at night or before bedtime. It is 4 posts broken up throughout the day, and plan them the night before. You don't have to plan them in depth. Like, you don't have to, have the exact photo that you want to use planned out with the exact caption. You can, if that makes your life easier, if you have like 30 minutes before you fall asleep at night to do that, and that makes your life easier, you can totally do that. I don't run well doing that, but I have a general idea of the way that my day layout is going to go before. So anyways, that's like the non-negotiable. But outside of that, how do you, again, get more people on this list? Because we all know that this is a numbers game. The more people you have on the list, the more people you're talking to, the more people you're eventually going to get into the system, sign up as a distributor, and help them change their life and start working towards their goals with them, and you're building your team. And so one of the ways that I feel most comfortable, now not everybody is going to agree with me. Other leaders rock this business completely differently, and that's okay. Find what works for you. But what works for me and what makes me comfortable is reaching out for customers. I love reaching out to people just for customers and being a friend when I reach out. So this is just a basic guideline of a script that I use right here is reaching out for customers. Is I just say, hey girl, how are you? I know we haven't talked in a while, but it's so great to see you're doing so well. I might like add something. I go to their page before, maybe they got a new puppy, maybe they had a new baby, maybe they just graduated college, whatever's going on in their life. There's a spider on my ceiling. I just add a little bit right there. And I say, I just came across your profile and think you'd be a great product model. So I was wondering if you'd be interested in trying one or some of my products, and you'd get a huge discount for helping me out. So that's what I say. And then I either get one of 3 answers, yes, no, or no response. And that's fine. Focus on what is happening and not what's not happening. So I'm always moving forward. I'm not looking back and being like, ooh, like who did I message today and who didn't reply to me that looked at my message? I'm not thinking about that. I'm just constantly looking forward and, who else can I talk to? How can I get more conversations going? Focus on what is happening and not what's not happening. But anyways, one of 3 of those answers. If I get a yes, this is the basic response that I give right here. So most people will be like, yeah, like what is the product? Or yes, like what is it? Or yeah, what do you recommend? Something like that. So I always tell them like I have natural It Works products, and a few of my favorites are. So this is a script I use. And I just give a basic list. Now, when I am pushing for distributors and I need to sign distributors to promote or fill my chart up or whatever the reason is that I'm pushing for distributors at that time, instead of just sending this list for customers, one of the things I say last on this list is I say, I also have 2 work from home positions available if you want to make an extra $300 to $2,000 a month from your phone. And so that's one of the ways I gain potentials, is because, yeah, some of those people are going to be like, wait, like, what's that last thought you have about working from your phone? So that changed the game for me a lot because, like I said, I'm comfortable reaching out for customers. I'm not as good at reaching out for distributors. Maybe you are, and that's your strong suit. So go with that. But that's not, I'm just giving you guys some ways to do this. So that's another way. Again, I can get people on my list and get them, get talking to them, get gaining those potentials. Another reason I love reaching out to customers is because I found oftentimes I do have a lot of people who tell me like, yes, I am interested in trying a product, but I can't afford it. Like, or I have been following you for so long and I want to try the cleanse, the coffee, the wraps, whatever it is that they want to try me. They want to try all 3 of those things, but I just can't afford it. I don't have money. I don't have the income coming in. So I just say, well, have you ever thought about earning extra money from home and trying these products for free? And if they say yes, then like, again, I've just gained another potential distributor because I've reached out about a product. So that's something I love doing to get more people on my lists there. Let me look at my notes real quick. And then the other way that I like to reach out for customers is, I think I have this in my notes section here, is reaching out from the likers and commenters on my post. Commenters, of course, I'm always going to message them, but likers especially. So this is the scripts that I use for that, which is right here. So I just say, hey girl, thanks so much for the love on my post about. So I remind them which post that they sent the love on or liked or whatever, because some people just don't remember. And then I just say, I wanted to just reach out to see if you're interested in more information about what I do for work, or if you are just being supportive. Either way, let me know. I really appreciate it. So again, just being a friend, not spamming people, not being like super pushy on them. It's not what I love to do. Other people feel comfortable doing it, run with it. Like if that is your strong suit, go with it, girl. But it just, again, this is how I feel comfortable doing it. So that's the script that I love to use for those likers on my posts that are viewing them. You can do this for your drip posts, and you can even do this for those lifestyle posts that you're making that don't necessarily have anything to do with this business, but are making all that magic happen really behind the scenes. This is, you can use this for that post as well, because why not? I hear so many times top income earners talking all the time. Like I liked every single one of my enrollers posts except for her post about this business, because I didn't want her to message me. And then whatever, they ended up joining some, because, they were just so drawn in by this awesome business. But imagine like that person joined so much sooner because they reached out from one of those lifestyle posts. So sometimes, again, if I'm pushing really hard for those distributors, I reach out using this message on my lifestyle posts too. And same things with the Instagram and Facebook stories, which is another great way to attract people into your business, is using those. One of those is, if you don't know, is we have like a stories section up here. So you can like view all these people's stories. So they just kind of look like this. Sometimes I do product ones and sometimes I do business ones. If I'm pushing hard for those distributors, I message the people who have viewed my story. Like, hey girl, I noticed you viewed my story about, and whatever the story was about. And I just, I go from there and use that basic same script. Like, I noticed you viewed my story about this. I was wondering if you would be interested in hearing more information about what I do. Another way to reach out is reaching out to your like dream team or your chicken list. Those people who you think would be amazing at this business. This is a great script that I use for that right here. Is saying, hey girl, I know this is going to seem super random, but I think you'd be amazing at this business I do from home. Would you be interested in learning more information about what I do and see if it would be a good fit for you? Again, just simply asking, giving them a compliment. Like if I think somebody's going to be amazing at this business and is going to rock this on my team, I'm not going to prevent myself or that person from hearing about this opportunity and hold myself back, by having that next runner on my team just because I feel a little bit nervous. And I'm just giving them an awesome compliment because I do think they'd be awesome. Another way to reach out for those distributors is your loyal customers. Our loyal customers make the best distributors sometimes. Those people coming up on their third auto ship or anything, even if they're just somebody who just ordered, but that they would like be the best distributor at this. Reach out to them. They're already loving our products. So here's like a good example of that. Hey blank, how are you loving and then whatever they ordered. Hey, I just wanted to reach out because I actually have a few spots open on my team right now, and I thought of you because I know how much you love the product. Why not make a little extra money while using and earning free products at the same time? Our distributors get to earn free products. I always tell them that. Again, for those people who like maybe are being held back because of pricing on PLCs, I'm always PLCs especially that are interested and have been on my follow-up list forever. I always message them too about the business opportunity because they get to try these products for free and make extra income at the same time. Like who would say no to that? So yeah, that's like right here, a PLC that can't afford to order. This is just something I would say, and like the verbiage I use is, I totally understand. Hey, have you ever thought about becoming a distributor and making extra money while using the products for free? So all these are just different ways to get conversations going and gain those people that you're going to put on your list. So now that you have this awesome list going and you have all these potentials on there, what do you do from there? Like, what's the next step to seal that deal? For one, that's talking to them and answering their questions. Never give people just paragraphs and scripts and videos and that just stuff that are not asking for in Messenger, especially. If somebody messages me and they're like, hey, can you tell me more about what you do? Or like, yeah, like I would like more information. I always get them to ask the questions. So if somebody messaged me or even commented on one of my posts and was like, hey, more info, I would get in their inbox, just start a small conversation, be like, hey girl, how are you? What's going on? They say how they are. They ask me how I am. And I'm like, I'm awesome. I just wanted to reach out and reply to your comment to my post about the blank. What questions can I answer for you about what I do? So I get them asking the questions, because then I know what information they need in order for me to get them in the system and on my team, whether they have a fear or whether they just don't even know anything about It Works and I'm going to have to explain the company to them. Maybe they want to know how we make money. Maybe they don't even care how we make money and they just want to know, how much time it takes in their day to do this. Everybody has different questions for you. So I never just spew out every single information I have about this business right in their face right away. If somebody is, taking a little bit of extra time to sign up or anything like that, I always send them to our potential distributor information night, which we have every single Thursday on Facebook. And that is always an option for you guys to send your people to, even an old one. So like I said, we have them every week. We kind of name them something different every week, but make sure you are attending these. I remember when Jennifer Hand just joined my team, she was like brand new. She wasn't even Ruby yet, but she was like signing distributors like crazy. And I was like, girl, what are you doing? Like she was one of like the first people who I had that was just signing and signing and signing. And she's like, I just invite people to the event and tag them in the welcome post. And so like, it just opened my mind that like, wow, like, yes, like that is just how simple this is. It's like getting your people in front of the team, getting your people in front of, just us coming together. And all these events is truly just us sharing little facts about the business, but big stories, things that happen, stories from our team. And that's one of the things Jennifer said as well, is that she always lets her potential know, like, this is the team you're going to be working with. I'm going to tag you in the welcome post. And so these events are key and vital. And the welcome post that she's talking about is right here. When we start these events on Thursdays at 10 p.m., there's always a welcome post. I usually share a little bit about my story in it, tell people to tag here. So tag your potentials that you have been writing down on this list for the past week or so, that you've been gaining all these people, and tag them in this welcome post when these events start. Another great tool that we have for you guys that we've started implementing is doing PDT live opportunity nights on Facebook. The reason we kind of implemented both was because some people are going to love to have everything. They're going to love to be able to just scroll the facts. Like they're going to learn what It Works is, how do we make money, hear some stories. Some people just want to read stories, but other people want to get they want to hear a video, they want to hear passion, they want to hear, whatever it is. Some people just prefer videos more. So we have these every single Monday as well. Sometimes I'm getting somebody on, sometimes it's just me sharing my story, but we have those. And again, they're live. All of your potentials get directed back to you if they're asking questions, if they're commenting. Everything gets directed back to you as the enroller. And again, another great way to seal the deal with people. Justina, I know, was using, I think it was the other video, but it was one of the ways that she was able to sign like 4 or 5 distributors the other day was by just simply sharing one of the live videos that we did with those people and sealing the deal with them that way. So use the tools that we have here going on twice a week, every single week, for your potentials to help them help you seal the deal that way. Let me see what else we have here. Let's make sure I'm not missing anything important. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to talk about, it's another place that I hear of a lot of objections and where people get hung up often is on, when you guys say, okay, I have people are interested up until they hear the cost that it is to join, and then people get hung up, or, people say they don't have the investment or the money. For one, I think the biggest thing here is having people understand that the investment is way worth it. Like when I heard that this business was $99 to start, if you guys know my story, I didn't have $99 to start this business. Like I had $0, probably 10 cents in my bank account, or like even 10 cents I could find on the floor somewhere. I didn't have the money. But because I was taken along on this journey for, a few weeks or a few months or however long it was, and I knew so badly that I wanted this too, I didn't hear that amount and I was like turned away and completely like, ooh, that must be a scam. I was just like, yeah, like I'll go find $99 to start this. So again, making sure you're leading people and sharing the vision of this is going to be huge and key when that pricing does come up of how much it's going to start, but also being excited about it. Like it all comes across in your tone, and excitement and passion is going to be the key here as well. So like if you're talking to somebody and then like you get that question of, oh, okay, how do I start up? And the price has to come up of what it is. And you're like, ooh, well, like it's $99. I know it's a lot of money. You might not have it. Like if you're just making it seem like a bad thing right from the get-go, people are going to be turned off by that. You're not confident in this business enough for you to, for you to just be confident about telling people about it. But like, I know that them investing $99, they can change their life forever. Like they can turn that $99 into 6 figures a year. Who wouldn't want to do that? Like it just blows my mind that somebody would be turned away from that. So again, it comes across in the excitement of your voice. Using voice memos can be like really important and key here too. Again, to share your excitement. But this is basically the verbiage that I use when that comes up. I just say it is $99 to enroll as a distributor with It Works. The reason I started to say this was because I started getting people who like thought they were paying me to join as a distributor. And I was like, no, you're not paying me to join my team. Like you're just like, it's the cost to join. And I never tell people either, like your business builder's kit costs $99, because again, people are like, well, why do I need a builder's kit to start? Like I kept getting that objection as well. So I just started saying it's $99 to enroll as a distributor. And since I changed my verbiage up a little bit there, I haven't really had many objections with it at all, honestly. So I just say it's $99 to enroll as a distributor with It Works, and that includes everything you need for your business, your own website, back office, and access to all training. I think like these are the key things that, you're enrolling as a distributor and getting all of that. Like imagine opening up a business and having to pay to start a website, having to pay for somebody or like some kind of system to keep track of customer orders and, all that stuff that we have available for us in our eSuite. And access to all the training, because again, our training is like gold, and they're getting that, by enrolling. And then I say as well as free products, because they're paying the $99 to enroll. They're not paying the $99 for the wraps, which is why my verbiage before, and people were just like, okay, well, why don't I just buy wraps? Okay. So anyway, so I said as well as free product. Right now, you get 4 free wraps in your starter kit. This is worded a little bit wrong. Starter kit. You get 4 free wraps in your starter kit, and that you can use either for yourself or sell as samples. So keep it simple. That's all I say. I don't go into any more detail about like, you get this and that, or you can sell this and you can do that, make your money back right away. I just stopped saying all of that. It's like too much, too wordy. So that's all I say. And again, I haven't had any objections. I need to drink water. I'm talking so much. And then this is the same thing that I talk about when sealing the deal with customers. Like once I know that price, I'm like, okay, like, yes, like, let's do it. Like they're excited, or like, okay, like, yes, like whatever. So they tell you, yes, they want to do it. Don't then ask them when's a convenient time for them to start, because they're going to make some kind of excuse up. Like if you're letting people choose and all them run the conversation, it's never going to happen. You're the one that knows the facts. You're the one that, is trying to help them change their life. You're the one that is the leader of them, of this team. You're leading them to success. So you've got to lead the conversation as well. They can't lead your conversation for you. So as soon as they decide that they're going to do it, I just say, awesome. I'm so excited for you. Would it be easier for you if I took your info and placed the order for you, or would you like to do it yourself on my website? I always just give this option. I think it's just a great way to like slide into the next step. Again, some people just prefer me doing it for them, and other people, it's just going to be much easier, or they're going to feel more comfortable doing it on my website. They tell me an option, and again, I just dive into the next step. If they say like, you do it for me, I'm like, okay, I need blah, 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 blah. If they say like, I want to use the website, I give them my website and I tell them your spot is going to be open for the next 30 minutes. So they know that that needs to happen now. I don't give them the directions and they're going to be like, okay, well, I'll do it before I go to bed tonight. Like, no, I just opened up your spot. This spot is available for the next 30 minutes. You've got to get your information in right now. And I learned that tip and it's been amazing. I love doing that. Okay. Another thing I have written down here is just how to talk to them about objections. And for me, that's explaining to them that I felt those same ways too. Just kind of making them feel like their objection of whatever they're happening, like whatever is happening, like they're nervous to start because they're afraid to fail, or they're nervous of what people might think, or whatever their objection is. I just let them know it's normal. I'm like, that's totally fine. We've all felt that way before, and then I just tell them that I'm going to be there to help you every single step of the way. I'm going to hold your hand. I'm going to guide you and lead you to success. I'm very confident in telling people, like if somebody asks me, what's the chance I'm going to be successful at this? 100%. Like I'm so confident in this business and in our training and in our team and in our company that I know their chance of success is 100%. Like, so I let them know your chance of success is 100%. If you follow what I tell you to do and you follow my training, there is no way that you can fail at this. And I wholeheartedly believe that with the training and the steps and the stuff that we have in place for people, there is no way that people can fail at this business if they are doing every single thing that we train to do, the 6 lists and all that great stuff. So I let them know that, there's no way you can fail if, so again, leading people before they even join your team. Let's see. Another thing I wanted to say too is that I get this often, like I hear this often from people, like, what's a great post to sign distributors? I need to sign a distributor today. What's the post that pulls people in? Same thing with like customers. I hear that too sometimes. There is no one magical post. Like there is no, like if there was, I'd be posting it every single day. But there is not one thing that is like suddenly going to have like 25 people flooding my inbox and wanting to join and like knocking on my door. It doesn't happen that way. The key here is consistency over and over and over again, every single day, following the way that we train, sharing your story at least 3 times a week, posting your why, your goals, your accomplishments, like kind of just like throwing it up out there. If I accomplish something and I reach a goal, I throw it up for like the next month. Like if, for example, when I promoted to presidential, I'm still talking about that. I'm still talking about that accomplishment I made. People want to see people having that success with this. So if you just promoted to executive, like if you're going to promote to executive tonight or tomorrow, you better be throwing up about that on Facebook for the next 30 days because people want to see that you set a goal and you accomplished it, and then talk about where else you're going. This month I'm going to get to Emerald. This month I'm going to get to Diamond. Like, where are you going? What are you doing? Throw up about that. So anyways, I just kind of went on like a little random like thought there. But again, there's not one post that's going to do it. You've got to do the consistency over and over and over and over again to build all of this up. Build your list. The more people you have on this list right here, the more chance or the more people that are going to be joining your team. So this is just really a numbers game. Same thing with the customers. It's all a numbers game. The more names that you have right here in front of you, the more people are going to be signing. So you can't, when somebody reaches out to me and they're like, I can't sign distributors, I haven't had a distributor sign with me in this whole month. What can I do to help? And I ask them, the first thing I say, well, how many potentials do you have? And they'll be like, oh, well, I have 3 potentials. And they keep saying they're going to join on Friday, but don't. Well, that's why you're not signing 3 people a month, or that's why you're not signing 5 people a month, whatever your goal is. It's because you only have 3 people. You need like a bigger list because it's a numbers game. How many people do you need on your list in order to sign 3, in order to sign 5, in order to sign 10? Like, what's your goal? You've got to have more than that. So for me, I kind of know 1 in 10 is going to join me. So if I want to sign 5 people this month, I'm going to need probably a list of 50 potentials. And that's just a rough estimate. So like my numbers change all the time, slightly, not like ginormously, but if we have sales and stuff, that helps. But again, I know that if I want to sign 5, I've got to have a list of 50. And so doing all these things that I just talked about in the beginning of this Zoom is how I gain a list of 50. And then sealing the deal with them is doing those things, going live, sharing my story, or you can go live as well with your story, or tagging them in my lives, bringing them to our PDT events, and all that stuff. So yeah. And then the other thing too that I just want to mention before we hop off of here is that the posts that you're making that aren't even about this business are sometimes the most important. So those lifestyle posts that we talk about making that have really nothing to do with this business are sometimes the most important posts to make, because people want that lifestyle. Like they're latching on to what you're doing every single day. And that's why the lifestyle posts are so important to make. Don't just be posting it works after it works after it works after it works, like product, drip post, pull post, like that. People don't want to follow that. Like, what are they following you for? What is your journey? So every single day, like I just, I post like fun things that my kids are doing. I have an audience that, they like seeing my kids. What is it about you that they like seeing? Like for Taylor, the people that follow Taylor, they love following her for like the sunflowers, her dog, her brother, whatever it is, her family, her friends. So they like following her for those reasons, and she gets tons of engagement on that. And that's why she's able to sign so many customers, because they know her, they're relating with her. She's making friends with people just by posting. And that's kind of the importance of the lifestyle post. So taking your audience on a journey with you. So again, just more lifestyle. Like sometimes these posts are the most important because they are just showing the freedom that you get to do because of this, like having baths, anything kind of just like fun, going ice skating, shopping because we're setting up for hockey. I'll share about going swimming on Wednesdays, going shopping, whatever it is. Just all of these things make such a huge difference because people are watching. Your most serious potentials are watching every single post you make, and those posts are so vital. The lifestyle that you get to live because it works. Jennifer is so great at doing this as well. So I'll go to her page. And yes, she's sharing about, the products as well, but look, she's home with her baby, her audience now knows every single day when she's sharing about being home with her baby, Lucas, if she's attracting other moms that want to be home, they're going to want to join her team because she gets to do that. She always posts about her son doing extracurriculars like sports and, karate and soccer and, whatever it is. And those are just awesome things that other people don't get to do. Other people don't get to sign their kids up for sports and things like that. Either A, because they're busy working all the time, or B, because they don't have the funds to do so. So this business allows her to do that, taking people on that journey with you and allowing people to get to know you and build relationships. It's just so important. So you can't forget that step as well. And I definitely wanted to mention that because I think it's sometimes such a key thing that people overlook completely. We'll go more in depth with that on another Zoom, talking about the 4 posts to make a day, how to take people along with that journey with you, finding 5 things to be passionate about. So you know what you're posting about and how to build relationships with people. It's going to be important. And that's basically all I have for you guys. So I'm just going to stop the share and jump back onto the regular slides here. And then if you guys have questions, feel free to ask. I'm just going to scroll through. I bet Jennifer's been fielding a lot of these questions, and Rachel, because they're just so great at that. What to say to people who think this is a pyramid scheme? I just ignore it. I just don't even take that. I don't want that type of person and vibe around me anyways. And I think that people are going to realize through my posting, and maybe if I added a friend today or tomorrow and they saw my post about It Works, they might automatically be she's part of a scheme, she's part of a scam, she's part of a pyramid, whatever they're going to think. But once they start to get to know me and my passion for this and what it's done for me, they're going to probably change their mind. And I just don't let it get to me. I don't need you on my team. If you're going to have that negative thing about this and around me, my job's not to convince you of anything. I want people who are ready, who are hungry, who are dreamers, who are, have that huge vision and goal for their future. That's the type of person I want on my team. Yeah. And like Rachel just said, let them say what they want. Be positive. Be the better person in the situation. Don't go starting like arguments with people on the internet over like it works. Like that's not what we get paid for. Just push it out, be the bigger person, stay positive. And like if somebody messages you or somebody comments on one of your posts and says that, I would like, if that was me and somebody commented and was like, this is a pyramid scheme, I'd be like, oh, cool. Like, I'm glad you think that. Well, it's paying all my bills. Like, they're not affecting me. So don't let that affect you. All right. So I don't like see too many other questions going on. And like I said, I think like the questions that did happen earlier, I see Rachel and Jen's name here a lot. So, yeah, don't make this more complicated than it is. Definitely so duplicatable. I love that it's duplicatable. I am like, the queen of like mimicking other people's posts. I'm not always like on my game with wanting to, come up with words and verbiage for what I want to share. So I'm always looking around like, oh, who like shared their story today? Did Rachel post her story today? Go to Rachel's page. And if she did, I'm just going to like copy and paste and then like post it into my notes app, delete the things that apply to her business and her story and change them up. So that Elizabeth Fuller is amazing at doing that as well. She's a great example. Even from the time that she was a brand new distributor, executive, Ruby, like she was just copying my post that I made or Rachel's post that she made and just changing the words. Like if I said, oh, my name's Hannah, 23 years old, earned $17,000 a month. Elizabeth was like, my name's Elizabeth. I'm 25 years old and I earn $500 a month. Like confidence, be confident in what you're doing here. And like now she's a diamond, she's going double diamond. So like, yeah, all these things work. And the things that we're doing are very copyable. Copy the right cat business is what we like to say. And yeah, all right. So I'm going to jump off. I think this was awesome. I'm so glad for you guys who got on. I hope you took something out of it. I'm going to post on the team page. Let me know the notes that you took, if you took any, what you learned. And this was recorded so we can share this and save this on our team page for later use. All right. Have a great night, everybody. Good luck with your promotions. I am so excited for ending October super strong. Bye.